Hi, I just want to talk to you today about some of the stress responses you might be seeing in your children at the moment with everything that's going on. What you may find if you're the parent of a primary school age or even into high school age child is that they will sometimes be losing it a little bit more than normal at the moment. That meltdowns will come a bit faster, or they'll come about things that you thought they'd long time ago left behind. And in some ways that's actually a really good sign. It's an indication that their capacity to pick up what's going on in the environment around them, to pick up the anxiety, is reading the circumstances well, because stress levels have raised right across the board. But doesn't make it quite so easy in the home or to parent. So I'm just going to talk with you about a model of the brain that neuroscientist Dan Siegel came up with that can just help children and young people catch that reaction before it blows too far. Dan Siegel came up with a thing called the hand model of the brain. And basically the idea is if you can get a better understanding of how your brain works, you can sometimes catch it before you lose it. How he described it, you've got the brainstem here. Your arm represents the brainstem coming up into the more primitive parts of your brain here. Your brainstem where it regulates heart rate, breathing, that kind of thing. And then here with your thumb, we have what's called the limbic part of your brain, or the more primitive emotion parts of your brain. It's where your fight, flight, freeze response lives. And our brains have been really cleverly designed that when we feel overwhelmed or stressed, this part of our brain actually takes over. Most of the time when we're not stressed, the rest of our brain's online. Our cortex, our neocortex, sort of orientated like that. These are the more rational thinking parts of our brain up here that keep us focused and tuned in. But if you're tired, you're stressed, you're hungry, and something happens that causes your stress levels to spike, then what happens is we can flip our lid and we start acting out of these lower order parts of our brain, these less controllable parts of our brain, and have a meltdown or lose it. And it can be quite hard to bring those parts back online. So what I want to encourage you to talk to your children about is what are the signs that their body gives them that their brain's about to flip their lid. Every single one of us has slightly different ways our body tells us when the adrenaline level goes up. For some people, the first thing they'll notice is the heart rate goes up. For other people, it might be a dry mouth, you might get sweaty palms, feel hot. Some people feel a bit sick in the tummy, or they can't think straight or make a clear sentence. These are often the first signs that your body is telling you that it's fighting the flip. So if you can learn to recognize what those signs are and help your children to know what those signs are, some of the time, just being aware of that may help them to catch it before they flip their lid.